Hello, Tangled Up in Blue. It's Grammy. Just got back from town and wanted to show you the necessary things I went to town for. I got a carton of cigarettes, and for some reason I just wanted a lot of candy. So I got some candy, and of course the old man has to have his Diet Coke, and those are the necessities. Be talking to you again in just a second. I'm going to pause it. Okay, got everything in the house, so I'm out here on the porch in my rocking chair. I was going to do some work in the yard, and I did a little bit this morning, but it looks like it might rain, so probably be in the house the rest of the day, but had to have the cigarettes and Diet Coke and candy. Almost like an emergency. I wanted to mention to Ramos in California that I keep that box of CDs in my car now, and when I go to town and back, I listen to another CD. And so today I was listening to Simon and Garfunkel. So relaxing and gentle music, and I needed that because I've been pretty depressed yesterday, and this morning was really rough. Just everything that's going on, and I know y'all understand that. And I'd like to say here that I'd like for you to check your subscription and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And anybody that's listening to me that isn't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps me build this channel. And I think I've said before, I have like 5,000 and some subscriptions, but you know, I'm lucky if I get 1,000 views on a video. So check out if you're watching this video, check out some of the other ones, or try to follow along with me. I keep trying to make these videos. I want to talk about Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Senator, and Susan Collins. I've had them on my mind for a while, and Lisa Murkowski from Alaska has just spoken out a little bit, and she has said that she's terrified over these tariffs. Now, she's a Republican senator, a woman close around my age, and I think that's what it's going to take, is more of them to speak out. And I mentioned Susan, it's already left my mind, but the senator from Maine, Collins, Susan Collins, she's a woman close to my age also. And I've often thought about those two because anytime before, when Trump was in presidency or when Biden was in the presidency, they would be asked questions about different things in the halls of the Capitol. And they would always be kind of, well, they weren't sure about that. And, you know, they didn't know what was going to happen with that. They had questions, and they didn't particularly like certain things, or, you know, in this real elderly woman way that they had. But then when it came to voting, they always voted Donald Trump, you know, voted in favor of whatever Donald Trump was doing. But like I say now, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska is terrified over these tariffs. And Rand Paul, he has come out and spoken out against things that he doesn't agree with Donald Trump. So, in my opinion, it's going to take more of them to see and to speak up. And we can't wait. We can't wait for tomorrow or next year even. Things need to be talked about now on the other side. You need to speak up if you know something is wrong and you realize that it's not going to be good for this country. Don't just sit back. We need for you to speak up too. And my flag. I want to talk about my flag a little bit. I'm still debating over my flag. It's still flying out there in my yard because I did tell y'all one morning I came to the decision I was going to take it down. Wash it and put it up until things were better, but I just can't take it down. So I'm going to leave it up for now. And it's kind of like the roller coaster we're all on. One day I wake up and think a minute and I think I'm going to take my flag down because it just doesn't feel like the United States of America or the country that I've always known. It just doesn't feel like it at all. But then the next day I think, no, no, I love this country and I love everything that we've always stood for, and I don't want to take it down. So it's still up and it's still flying. Don't know how I'll feel tomorrow or the next day, but I just wanted to let you know I'm just flip-flopping back and forth on that. If you have any comments, go ahead and comment in the comment area about that. I also wanted to talk about yesterday, Trump did a rally in Michigan and he had an interview on TV. And I think a lot of how he handles those things is what gets me into you know, feeling depressed. Everything's about Donald Trump, and criticizing everybody else and promising all of us, the people, that, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to be great. He's the greatest. He knows better than anybody. Nobody can tell him anything. He knows. He knows. Donald Trump knows. Well, I just disagree with that wholeheartedly. Everything. Everything. When he went to the Pope's funeral, it was required, it was one of the requirements that the men wear black suits and black ties, which all of them did, except Donald Trump. He wore a blue suit, and it wasn't like navy blue even. It was a blue. He wore a blue suit. Of course, it didn't shock me, but that just shows the level of disrespect he has. Plus, he wants all eyes on him and everybody talking about it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Just disrespectful. At his rally in Michigan, he called for Scott Jennings on CNN, the Republican commentator, to come up there on stage with him. And Scott Jennings was so excited and so happy and shaking Donald Trump's hand. Oh, it just thrilled him that Donald Trump called him up on stage. And Donald Trump was talking about land, needing more land and all that. And so he passed it over to Scott Jennings to comment on that. And Scott Jennings said, oh, yeah, he said, I'm all for having more land. He said, because I own so many libs right now, I got to have some land to put them on. They're just disgusting people. They are just disgusting people. I've got a few cards. Well, one card and a letter. So I'll share those with you. And this one is from Albertina, and she's from the Netherlands. And this is the card. And she sent me some seeds. And she wrote on the packet, I've already planted them. These are my mother's favorites. She passed away in 2014, nearly 93 years old. Wow. That was wonderful you had her that long. And thank you for these seeds. I hope they come up. The 22nd of April is my birthday, born in 1954. So I'm 2 years older than you. I was born in 1952. Seems a long time ago. Time to give some flowering seeds. I do not have a garden, but a small balcony and some pots with plants at the front door. I have learned to put seeds in a bit of water overnight so it's easier to start to grow. You live in a very beautiful piece of Mother Nature. Easter weekend is near. Send you hugs and take care with love, Albertina. Thank you, Albertina. And then I got a letter from Kathy in Waynesville, Georgia. It's good to hear from you again, Kathy. And the letter she sent me evidently went back to her, returned to sender, and then she put it in another envelope and sent it to me. So I guess it's a little late getting to me. Sent me a little card, says, thinking of you. And I'll say right here, if you don't want your letter read on my channel, just make a little note in your letter, do not read on on your channel, and I won't. But I don't think there's anything in here that she wouldn't want me to read, so I'm going to read this letter. Dear Antonia, enjoyed our walk up the mountain to the little cemetery. What a peaceful place to rest. I could never do that hike with you. Uneven ground trips me and makes it hard to control my rotor walker. Thanks for the shout out to me and to Petito, her dog. I showed you her picture and her dog that had passed. He was the dearest dog, but I still have fur babies, 2 dogs and 6 cats. Most recent addition are a dog and a cat who belong to my next door neighbor, a 22-year-old boy whom I knew since he was 10 years old. He was killed in an accident. That is so sad. Very heartbreaking. We took in his pets. That's wonderful. Bear dog and Scratch the cat. They were already comfortable with us, so the adjustment was easy. His family appreciated our kindness to the young man when he lived and for taking his pets. I live with my 53-year-old son, 11-year-old grandson, and his 54-year-old mom, who is a volunteer firefighter and first responder. I paid off my double wide before I retired 12 years ago, which makes it easier to live on my Social Security. My son is unemployed. He's autistic, but he takes care of me, like having my own nursing home team. That's wonderful, Kathy. I am sorry your family is not close. Thanks for your rants. Keep the blue tangles fighting. We will overcome. Love, Kathy. And then on the back she says, P.S. I will try to walk out to my mailbox to send this and pick some more flowers. Thanks for mentioning me. Love to you and your pets. And I want to say I do enjoy these letters and cards so much. It helps because I do struggle with anxiety and depression, and I've been struggling these last couple of days. I guess that's why I needed the carton of cigarettes and bags of candy, which probably don't help, but they feel like they help. So anyway, I believe that's about all I wanted to mention today, but I did want to check in and give me a thumbs up if you like my video. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you are subscribed, just check to make sure that you're subscribed. I love you all, Tangled Up in Blue. And I know there's going to be better days. We just got to get through all this. And it's very hard, but let's all stick together. Much love, Grammy. Bye.